everybody, and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Ghosts, where today we are going to talk about someone who's been on the internet for a long time, doing YouTube for a long time, and I've seen his stuff before. Bruce never has. So today we are going to talk about Omar Gosh, and he has a channel called Omar Gosh TV. But the one that we saw was, well, y'all know how we discussed Ghost Adventures Lake of Death the other day. Stop. Well, we decided to see if we could find somebody else actually investigating Lake Mead, actually investigating. So we found Omar Gosh, and he did a short investigation.
Yeah.
With, I'm not sure if it's his spouse, girlfriend, Tiffany. And anyway, he's gone out to the lake in the middle of the night. And really good intro with history and stuff about the lake. They spent quite a bit of time on the lake, on the shore, the edges, the beach.
And they also talked about how the lake was disappearing.
Yeah, they talked. There was a really good intro.
Feet.
Yeah, and they showed how I guess the people who manage the conservation in the area have put signposts out showing this is 2018, this was 2020, and you can see how much water has evaporated and dried up. It's quite the thing. But they did do a little mini investigation there on the beach, not much, but a little bit. And then they thought they would go further down to someplace where there was no marina around and that sort of thing, and see if they could get something more. So they're actually going to try to, investigate the lake and the beach and the water around it instead of, maybe some shadows up in some tunnel somewhere that had nothing to do with the lake. But I digress. So they head out to this spot, and they're going to pop up their tent and everything, and meanwhile, they see people off in the distance with a campfire, which kind of freaks them out. I don't know why they would think that they're the only ones in the world that ever had the idea of going to camp on the edge of the lake, but other people obviously do. So they get the tent all set up, and no sooner do they get the tent set up when they start hearing some howling. It is not somebody screaming. It's not people screaming that they're dying and being murdered. No.
It's actual coyotes.
It's coyotes. And they actually see them. So they're getting really creeped out and nervous and scared because they see not one, not two, but at least three. So they've got a small pack of coyotes out there circling the wagon, so to speak. Yeah. And they're getting a little freaked out. So what turned into or started out as a ghost investigation ended up being a lesson in wildlife as they made their way back very quickly to their vehicle. Didn't even take down the tent, they said. They just kind of threw everything into the vehicle and got out of there, which probably was the smart thing to do. Yeah. You don't know how hungry those coyotes might have been. They were coming awfully close. So, and they think they heard footsteps around. They don't know if it was the other people or some other people coming close, which is possible. You never know who else is out there hiking and stuff. But it was the coyotes that really scared them the most. They heard the other campsite, their vehicle alarm go off a few times, so they think they were trying to scare the coyotes away, which is probably true.
Yeah.
So that one was a little bit disappointing in the fact that there wasn't a whole lot. But he did really comment on there saying that ghosts don't always, show up on demand and you don't always get what you want to get. But he did say one thing that made me snicker. At one point he goes, it's almost like this lake is cursed with all the deaths here. So, water and the mafia close by. Sure, it's cursed, but I don't know. He had an app on his phone called the Necrometer. It's kind of like an Ovilus. I don't know how I felt about that.
Well, at first it was very spot on.
Yeah. But, it's an app on the phone. I don't know how much is just all pre-programmed and set to go off to make you think something's going on or not.
Well, it uses the computer on your phone and what's in the ghost box, but a little mini computer.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
I like them.
I don't know.
Like them.
I don't know. I don't have any experience with a necrometer, so we're going to have to watch some more and see, maybe check it out a little bit. If anybody has any experience with the necrometer, if you could please, drop us a message, put a comment below or something, let us know what you think, because, I don't know, it's something new for me. Anyway, carrying on with Omar, because it was a short little episode, and it was good. I didn't mind watching it.
Yeah.
But we decided to actually find something that was more ghost related, because, that's our thing. And, like I said, I've seen him before, but Bruce has not. So we found one called the Haunted Wildwood Asylum, which is a site that, as we were starting to watch it, we realized, in fact, they even mentioned, that it was a paranormal lockdown site. So Nick and Katrina had been there, and they referenced Nick a few times, because I guess Omar knows Nick. So he and his buddy Moe go in there with their cameras, and they've got the whole site to themselves for the night. And apparently Moe also has a YouTube channel, so we decided we'll watch that one afterwards as well. And they did sort of like a dual investigation where they film a bunch of stuff, and then I think they probably take, footage from each and then, put it onto their own channels. However they do it. Doesn't matter. It's just an interesting way to do it. But this site was interesting. One of the things they did was this thing called a Red Book Challenge.
Yeah.
I have never heard of this before.
Nope.
I was quite intrigued. Has anybody ever heard of a Red Book Challenge before? If you have, drop us a message, because I'd love to hear your experiences. But basically what it was is you go in, if you find a red book in the site, and I don't know why it has to be red.
Well, yeah, but
he doesn't know either.
He suggested you take a book,
a
red book with you, and so you can do this channel.
Yeah. So they found one that the bind on it was quite large and it was red, so they used it. And basically it's the same idea as using an ovilus or something. Yeah. You ask a question, you kind of flip the book open to a page, and you just put your finger down to kind of however you feel like wherever it should be guided to. So it was good. It was getting some fairly relevant answers to questions, which was kind of creepy in some ways. It was a very different tool, and I think I wouldn't mind trying that sometime. Yeah. I am going to have to do some research though about why does it have to be a red book? Can it be just any book? To me, I would think it shouldn't matter.
No,
I don't think it should matter, but they call it a Red Book Challenge. So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard of a Red Book Challenge before. So that was good. It was, a lot of history in this place. They did talk a few times. There was this one room, they called it the seance room, where a fella used to always go, but eventually he committed suicide. But apparently he still hangs out there and manipulates this pendulum that they have hanging over, hanging over like a bowl of sand, and you can see where it moves. And sometimes it spells out things and draws whatever. They say it rarely stops moving, so interesting. And they think they spelled out the word mom on it.
Or Tom.
No, mom the first time.
Yeah.
Mom, and they people that own the place, I guess, reached out to his family, and she sent them a copy of, or the envelope of a Mother's Day card that she got where he wrote mom on it, and it's spelled exactly in the same manner. So it's kind of interesting. I've never seen anything like that before. Not like that, but a lot of stuff went on just in the short time that we saw the investigation. They found a young boy. His name is Tommy. Apparently he lives or haunts the place. Probably lived there years and years and years ago. And he has a room full of creepy-ass toys that sometimes move on their own.
Yeah.
Which, anytime dolls and things move on their own, that's kind of creepy. Yeah. So, tables flipping. Then, at the end of this little program, he says to go watch his friend Moe's video, who carries on with the investigation. And so we did. We went and found Moe's channel, and we watched it. This one was different. I mean, it was obviously the same location, but you could see the difference between the two of them.
Yeah.
Moe, I got the feeling he was much more excitable. Maybe I think he's newer to paranormal investigating than Omar is. Omar's been doing it for years. Moe says he's been at it. He didn't even say how long, but he started out basically as an urban explorer, going to abandoned sites before he started taking on haunted sites. So I think he's much more nervous, and he's very excitable, talks very fast, but you could really see, and his video had this background noise.
Yeah.
That they put almost
but
like
it didn't go through.
No, it was in the beginning. It was some background, like music or sound effects or something. And then, he stopped it at some point. But you could hear it. I'm just pointing out the difference.
Yeah.
The difference.
Yeah.
They started to show, in starting to investigate, they were looking at the toys, the doll room. Oh, God, creepy doll room. I don't like creepy dolls. They don't scare me as much as some people, but I still don't like creepy dolls.
It bothers me.
It bothers you? Yeah, I have to keep that one doll in the box in the bedroom because you don't like it.
I don't like it.
I have a doll, and it's an older doll. I don't even know from what year. My grandmother, I guess she went a little nuts when she...
Bought the doll?
No, when she was a bit older, I think, and they said she went a little nuts. And I don't know if it was just disease process, maybe it was Alzheimer's or something. That wouldn't be surprising considering my mom now has Alzheimer's. So, sometimes it's familial. Uh-oh, you're in for it now. Anyway, she bought this doll, or family bought her this doll so that she could have a baby to look after. So this was her baby as she was kind of going off the deep end. And Bruce doesn't like it. It's a creepy doll, he says. I don't think it's creepy, but it's just a doll.
It's creepy.
It's just a doll. Yeah. Anyway, back to the Moe Sargi's video. It was just really starting to get good. They again were we saw more of the house actually with this video, which was kind of nice. It's not really a house. I guess it was at one point. But it is huge, and
it's a maze.
It's very typical old style Victorian, where they've got little narrow hallways, lots of rooms, kind of all over the place, mazy, and it's the tiny little hallways and stuff. Mm-hmm. So anyway, they're exploring some of the rooms, and it was interesting to see how they were all connecting, and then they found an infirmary or something upstairs, which we hadn't seen in the previous video. That was cool. You could tell it was a hospital bed with the bottom that pops down, so that women can have pap exams and stuff. Or it was kind of creepy that way. And you see it all, and then they finally made their way upstairs to the third floor, and at that point we see Moe get knocked down or something. And then their big thing flashes off to be continued on Halloween. Well, then we couldn't find the other video. Yeah. So we'll probably find it sometime. But I don't like it when they do that. I wanted to see what happened.
You're going to have a two-parter, have them together.
The problem is we don't watch on our laptop or phone. So we don't see the links and stuff that they talk about. Because I wouldn't be surprised if you had a link to the next one underneath. We'll have to go to the computer to look for it. But we watch it on our smart TV so that we can just click through. It's a big screen. You don't have to see all the stuff. But we scoured through looking for it. And we couldn't find it. Unless he's changed the name of it somehow. We passed over it by mistake. So we'll have to look sometime. Because I'd like to see, what happened and how it ended. That would be good. But needless to say, it was a good couple of, between the two of them, it was an hour.
Yeah.
It was
both.
It was interesting. I preferred Omar's over Moe's. I just felt it was more polished. And I do believe that Omar is getting better and better and better at these all the time. He's, like I said, been doing them for a long time, and I remember watching them early on, and they didn't have as much of the information or the history at the beginning, and he does now. He actually makes it really, I wouldn't say more interesting, but it just kind of pulls things together so that when you start watching the investigation, you sort of know what you're watching. Yeah. And I like that part. I did enjoy the camaraderie between these two. There was a couple of funny moments that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Omar on that door. He pulls his shirt down.
Yeah.
That was funny. There's some,
Midnight Express.
Yeah. There was some college-style farting jokes. Apparently they had something at Applebee's that was gassy, and it wasn't very good because they were farting like mad. But the camaraderie between the two, you can tell that they're friends, and that was kind of nice. I liked that. That was fun. I always like a little bit of
humor.
Yeah, just a little bit of something to go with the rest of it, because you're there investigating, but you're also human, and people do stuff. So I will put the links to these two channels, these two things, and we probably will watch some more sometime in the next little while, just to kind of see where they go. I want to see if I can find that other half, but we probably won't comment on it unless we really want to. But I will see if we can't find something else from him another time, and we can see how we feel about that. It's always good to watch a couple of episodes before you really say something about somebody, whether negative or positive. But I do know that Omar, I have enjoyed his stuff before, because I've been watching him for a couple of years now. Anyway, that's it. That's our show for today. Enjoy the rest of your evening or day. Hopefully we'll chat with you again sometime.
Happy hunting.
Happy hunting. Bye now.